one sleep from another two teams being eliminated from the season of 2021 as we gear up for a massive two games of football in semi-final weekend, Liam.
Yeah, for sure. Both these games are no doubt going to be absolute rippers. Both, all four teams wanting to keep their season alive. So yeah, I also can't wait. I think every game hopefully lives up to the expectations, and they're not all blowouts. So we might as well just get straight into it. So tomorrow night we have Geelong taking on the Giants from Optus Stadium in Perth. I believe Zach Tui is potentially to be back. I think he's still a test, but we'll find out tonight, obviously, when the teams go out. Also, he's being filmed at about 4 o'clock on the Thursday. But I think the Giants don't have anyone potentially back. I think everyone who's injured is not going to be playing or out for the season. So I think that's pretty much it on the injury front. But it's going to be an interesting clash. Both teams obviously in neutral territory. So yeah. I believe through the Joel Selwood is going to be breaking the Geelong record for most games played. And I think he moves to second behind the legendary Michael Tuck for most finals played. I think he's only about 3 behind him too. So I'm sure he'll get there if he plays on for another year. In Geelong. So what are the Giants going to do without Toby Green yet again?
It's a good question. I don't really have an answer.
Big shoes to fill.
Can Jesse Hogan fill it in terms of goals impact?
Yeah.
It's a question that remains to be seen. And then
we did
on the Geelong side of things, is Patrick Dangerfield going to come back? Is he going to?
Yeah. Is he going to show up?
How he normally is.
Yeah. We did see in the Giants when they played Richmond, Toby Green also didn't play, and Tim Taranto stood up and kicked 4. So he might get that job again of that Toby Green type role. I wouldn't be too surprised if Leon Cameron taps him on the shoulder. So yeah, it's just big shoes to fill for Toby, and it's a costly season that could have ended for the Giants.
Now, for the Giants to win, not what do they need to do, but how big of a win would it be? So we've seen them knock off Brisbane in 2019 and then come to Melbourne and defeat the Pies and then get obliterated the week later. But what type of sense would be around the camp if they were to defeat Geelong, especially without Toby Green this weekend?
It'd be huge. They'd be buzzing for sure. They'd probably take a lot of confidence. Who would they play? They'd play Melbourne. So big confidence boost. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Giants get it done. I could see them getting it done over the Cats. We all know the Cats haven't really played well in finals, so as they did in last week, so they're coming off a bit of lackluster form. So I think if the Giants could get up, I don't see them getting past Melbourne, but it would give them a big boost. So yeah, it'd be huge for them, and see Geelong go in straight sets would be a great sight to see for many football fans, wouldn't it?
For the Giants to win, I think Hogan and Himmelberg both need to kick a minimum of 3.
3 each, yeah. We saw what Hogan can do.
We did. He took a few strong marks.
Yeah.
He probably didn't hit the scoreboard as much as his impact reflected.
Missed a few. But
he definitely had his impact on the game. Now, on the Geelong side of things, we spoke about Dangerfield needing to, I guess, come out firing compared to recent finals. What else needs to go right for Geelong to bounce back? Because it was a pretty poor performance.
It was. I feel like Hawkins needs to get on the scoreboard too, similar to I think him and Cameron need to kick him in with about 3 each. Obviously, Cameron playing his former side, so they both need to step up big. Yeah, I think it's just all about the forwards pretty much. I think both of them need to get at least 3 each. And as we said, I think Dangerfield needs to come out and have a bit more of an impact on the game. We said he had the 20 touches last week though, but he didn't have that much of an impact. He didn't have that great disposal efficiency. So I feel like if he could hit the scoreboard too, I feel like the Cats could go a long way in winning this game for sure.
Fair call. Now, what are we thinking about the game? Give us a winner, a margin, and any key moment or statistic. First goal scorer we'll go with, actually. So give us a winner, a margin, and a first goal scorer.
As much as I'd like to see it, I can't see them going down. I'm going to have to say Geelong. Although I reckon it will be a very close game. I reckon I'll be about 1 to 2 goals in it. So play the Geelong by about 8. First goal scorer will be big Jezza Cameron. He will do it against his old side. And the best on ground will go to... Let's go with good old Joel Selwood. He'll do it in his record-breaking game. He'll have about 30 touches and have a best on ground performance from him, from the Geelong skipper. But what's your tip? What are you going for?
As much as I would love to see a GWS upset, I think Geelong are fairly strong in the West. They dismantled Fremantle probably 2 months back. I'm going to say Geelong are going to be probably blowout winners. I hate to say it, but I think they'll win by 6 or 7 goals. I'm going to put a bit of money on Jesse Hogan to kick the first goal, though. I think he can stand up. I just can't see the Giants doing anything, really.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. So, an interesting clash. Could go 1 or 2 ways, as we just discussed. So, and then the next game is probably another great clash. It's Brisbane and the Doggies.
Better one of the two, in my opinion.
Coming from the Gabba. Packed out Gabba, we'll hope to see. Don't believe any injury front to go across, but can the Doggies, can they pull a 2016 run? Can they win all 4? Or do you think they're going to go down this weekend?
I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I feel that this could be... Obviously, the GWS Sydney game was a very, very good game, but I feel this could be the best game of the finals we will see this year.
You reckon?
Maybe not in terms of margin, because there's some, there's sometimes good games where a team runs away in the last by 3 goals, but it was a brutal contest. I think this can be one of those.
Yeah.
Which way it goes is a very, very good question. We know earlier in the season they only met once off the top of my head at Mars Stadium, where the Dogs defeated them by around 3 goals. The loss of McStay for Brisbane, how are they going to replace that? Because they struggled after he went. Yeah,
they did. He's obviously very good down back for Brisbane, but I think they do have the assets that can fill in. They have the likes of Birchall, they have Andrews. So I think they might be able to just get down. They want to shut down probably Norton, in my eyes, and probably watch Cody Waitman too. And also big Timmy English if he gets a spell down there. But I think they should do all right as the Doggies. I think if they had Josh Bruce, they'd probably struggle a bit more. But with him obviously doing his knee, I think they'll find life a little bit easier down there. And for the Doggies, what needs to go right for them to get up in this one?
I think they just need everything clicking. as simple as it sounds, but they haven't been for the last 3 weeks, other than the Essendon game.
Yeah.
I think if they show up as good as they did against Essendon, it'll be a very, very good contest. But if they don't, Brisbane will blow them out of the water early.
Yeah.
Brisbane are almost unbeatable at the Gabba. They're 28-2 over the last 2 seasons in home and away. However, in finals, it's a completely opposite story. 1-3. I don't know what needs to go right for either team. This is going to be a brilliant match.
Yeah, I reckon it will be. I probably think that Cody Weightman needs to get along the goals. He was 4 last week. I think he'll be handy for the Dogs too, and also Charlie Cameron will be a pain up forward for Brisbane too. So both teams have, Big Joe Danaher. He'll probably have to be quick. I think he'll have to kick at least 2 or 3 for Brisbane to be in this match. But we'll know it's Joe Danaher. He either shows up some weeks or he doesn't. So I feel like he needs to be on his game if Brisbane are to be competitive in this match. So, so I think that's all. So what's your tip and what are your predictions?
Just one thing. Harris Andrews needs to bounce back for me.
Yeah, a bit of a quiet one.
He did. He was given the All-Australian selection.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. However, he is lazy at key times.
Yeah, he is.
He needs to show his worth playing on most likely Aaron Norton, I would suggest.
Yeah, you'd think so.
We'll see what happens there. So for my tip and everything else, I'm going to have to say, I think I'm going to give the edge to Brisbane purely because they're playing at home.
Yeah.
Margin, if I have to give one, I'd say 3 goals running away in the last.
Yeah.
For an early first goal scorer, lock me in with Zach Bailey.
Very solid.
And best on ground, I think I still got to go Bond. He does show up on finals. So
yeah, very solid. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say Brisbane will get up by, I'd say in your range, I reckon about 2 or 3 goals. He said I reckon they'll run away late. First goal scorer, I'm going to go with Joe Danaher. And then best on, I'm going to go Lachie Neale. He had 46 touches last week, and I reckon he'll be up in the 30s again.
Fair call.
And I'll say he'll slide in for a goal. So that'll probably edge him for the best on for me.
Fair call. Now, that concludes the matches of such, but we do have quite a bit of news to chip through over the past 48 hours or so since our last episode. We'll start with news coming out of Arden Street today, where North Melbourne have delisted 4 players. Would you like to go through those 4?
So I believe it was Dom Tyson, Corey Menadue, I believe it was. Connor Menadue, Will Walker, Dom Tyson, and Taylor Gardner. We got offered a contract next year from My Spooners North. So hopefully they find somewhere else. But I think, for me, I think Taylor Gardner was a bit stiff.
I agree.
Came in and he was actually all right. But also North didn't see what we were seeing. So hopefully he gets picked up somewhere else for his sake.
He's in the prime of his career as well. He's only 27.
Yeah, exactly.
He may not be good when they're good again, but he's there for now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And coming out of Carlton, Ross is not going to be the boss of Carlton next year. He has officially pulled out of the race for Carlton's new coach. So now kind of relying on either Alistair Clarkson or Brad Scott to pull out of what they're going to do. But I don't see either of them wanting to go to Carlton land. So they're in the spot of bother yet again. As we say this every year, but this year is probably the biggest, you think. So
now a little bit of trade rumors or trade news, where Adam Chera from Fremantle, who, as we know, has requested a trade probably almost 2 weeks ago now, and he did originally nominate Carlton, but he isn't ruling out other teams. Now, from what we've gathered, we know that he's been meeting with a couple of Victorian teams and will continue to do so over the coming weeks. And those teams are rumoured to be obviously Carlton, Hawthorn, Essendon, and potentially Richmond, potential sweeters for Chera. Now, what would be the best fit? I don't think Richmond.
No.
Because I think they're starting to go down.
Yeah, and he's probably looking for a team who's on the yard. Essendon, probably not, although they are in the right spot for him. I don't think they necessarily need him. Hawthorn, they could do with him. And Carlton, there's some way seizing Carlton. So I've probably Carlton or Hawthorn, you'd think are probably the front runners. Also Carlton and then Hawthorn, because those two have been the biggest talks about it. But
when you look at Essendon, you don't really need Chera. They've got up and coming midfielders.
Yeah.
When you look for Essendon, you're looking for probably a key forward and a key back. And then you turn Richmond, we sort of half ruled out because it's pretty unrealistic. And then you turn your attention to Hawthorn and Carlton, which obviously he wants Carlton, but I do think Hawthorn are quite a chance to snatch him up. Yeah. They do have some older veterans that can fit into Fremantle's side, and they do have 6 picks off the top of my head in this draft. So it's doable, but
for sure.
In the end, it's Freo's choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the AFL, the Toby Green suspension, obviously on Tuesday we announced it will be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
After that, Tuesday evening, the AFL have come out and created a rumour that they're going to challenge the decision. And I think it was earlier this morning or last night that they said they would definitely challenge the decision.
Yeah.
So instead of 3 weeks, Toby Green is now facing a 6-week charge, which to me is
ridiculous.
A bit outrageous, but it is what it is. And just finally, Craig McRae will coach Collingwood. Obviously, won 2 grand finals against them when he played in the Brisbane dynasty. But he's on the Collingwood chain now. He's got a lengthy history of assistant coaching with Brisbane. He's won a VFL premiership at Richmond and obviously under the mastermind of Clarkson. So it'll be interesting to see what he can bring to Collingwood. I think it's a good decision they went with McRae. Bring some experience in compared to Robert Harvey, who's sort of recently moved into the role.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully he can get Collingwood, on the right track. As you all know, they're not going down the right path at the moment, but I'm sure he's the right man for the job in Collingwood's eyes. So, yeah.
All right. Anything else to report on, or?
Don't believe so. I think that's all that we have as of today. So I think that wraps it up.
all sweet. So thank you all for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you enjoy your weekend of football coming up as well. And join us tomorrow for Carlton's review. I believe we're up to.
Yeah.
In what will be a dismal one, as we said
An
the other
interesting
day.
one. Interesting one.
So thank you and catch you then.
So yeah.